John and Damon here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Alive, gbhblofficial for short. And it's the games that we've been playing. It's our little series, monthly series, where we basically check in and talk about the games that we've been recently playing, give you a bit of insight into what we've been experiencing, completionism, achievements, all the usual kind of stuff. Games that have been good and bad. I can't even remember when we left. Did we talk about Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster last time? I'm sure we did.
Yeah,
I'm sure we did.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I talked about 7 Days Survivor. That's my starting point. That's fine then. Okay, yep. It's been a busy month or so. Played a fair bit, not as much as I would have liked, and certainly not invested too much time in some big games. But I got a few to talk about. But you can get us started, I think. Start running some of yours.
Yeah, so I basically just decided to go back through my gamer tag and
Yep.
complete a lot of games I've had in there for ages and ones that I struggled on and I just decided to knuckle down. So, but I'll start off with the first one. So it would be Sid Meier's Civilization 6.
Civilization
So
6, yeah.
yeah, so obviously massive game with his 500 million DLCs. You know,
Yeah.
typical Sid Meier's game, and obviously the new one's coming out soon, which I'm looking forward to, of course.
While
Yeah, but
complaining about this one. How can you be looking forward to while bitching and moaning about Civilization 6?
I'm moaning about the piss taker DLCs because they know exactly what they're doing, releasing a £70 game, and here you go, it's 15 DLCs.
You don't have to buy them.
True. No, that is true. But yeah, so there's like 97 achievements in this one I recently completed, and I'd completed 96 for probably the last year and a half, and there was one achievement which I read all the guides, I read true achievements. Everyone's saying there's different ways of doing it, and I couldn't do it. And then this one day at random, I did it completely different, and it popped. But it's my type of game. I love the building aspect. I love the war aspect, and it's just a beautiful game. And I'm glad it's done.
Fair enough. All right. Starship Troopers Extermination. It's probably the furthest one that I've been playing recently, although I haven't played it since it basically came out, and that's mainly because of time. An online multiplayer game, team-based, do missions. There's a single-player campaign that seems pretty basic, and the majority of it is multiplayer missions, where you kind of have to build up. You do missions while collecting stuff, and then build up a base for a big sort of horde-style finale, and then you all have to get to a dropship to escape. Kind of classic multiplayer stuff. It's all right. It's all right. It's kind of cool. Not quite the Starship Troopers game that I would have wanted, but for what it is, and particularly the last part where you are just fighting the bugs inside a base is so fucking much fun. That last bit is so chaotic. I think I described it to you and Liam previously, and I'll describe it again for this video. Think about the end of the film, the last sort of major battle that takes place, where they're stuck inside that base, and there's a point where the commander, I can't remember his name,
Razor.
Razak, yeah, of course, Razak's Roughnecks, obviously, yeah. He kind of goes over the top, and it's just like there's so many bugs you can't see the ground. That's what the end of this sort of battles are like, and they're like the bodies pile up, so the bugs can use them to climb up over the walls. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I need to put a bit more time in it before I can really judge it. It's why there's no review for it yet. But yeah, not the Starship Troopers game I would have wanted. I feel like a Command and Conquer style game would be a lot of fun, that kind of thing. Or a top-down squad-based shooter where you control different units on a map would be kind of cool. But being a first-person shooter slash base builder, it's still an intriguing idea, and I think it so far looked pretty good.
Yeah, so I've seen it myself, but obviously I would love a Command and Conquer style Starship Trooper games
Yeah,
too.
but
It'd be brilliant.
you're really anti these type of games, aren't you? These sort of online ones that want you to play online, the Friday the 13th, Killer Clowns,
Yeah,
Outer Space. Like, I love these games. I think there are so many single player experiences out there now that having these games that are like, hey, we are multiplayer, and that's up to you then if you want to play it. Like, I think it's great. I love the
yeah,
team-based ones as well. The team-based ones, because that's less hard, like competitive wise. It's not like you've got to go online and be like, oh, I've got to get to level 50 in ranked matches or win 100 ranked matches. It's team-based stuff for that stuff, you know?
Yeah, my only concern with those sort of games is when the developer go, oh, do you know what? We're going to close down the servers after a year.
That thing is though, like I know that's what people think, but truth be told, that is actually rare. That is
Mm,
really rare, and it's only ever really high-profile games on Steam and stuff like that that failed so spectacularly. Most, I know we do that whole like, oh yeah, they're going to close the servers in 6 months. They don't do that. They
mm.
don't do that. It's years. And you can say, oh well, they shouldn't anyway, but that's the price. That's the choice you make. And a
Of
couple of
course.
years down the line, a couple of years down the line, I am not going to be playing Starship Troopers Extermination. See what I mean? Like, it's fucking fine. I'll move on. It's no different nowadays to them delisting games from stores, stuff like that, or the fact that like physical copies. You know, think about the rare PlayStation One games and the rare
Mm.
Nintendo 64 games. You realize that there's going to potentially come a point where those games may no longer exist in this world. E.g., there's not available online for whatever reason. The source code is lost, and the physical copies, well, they run out and they get damaged. And then there's just none. You know,
Yep.
it happens. But anyway, you carry on. Oh,
So
actually, before you carry on, let me just cover one that we do together, which is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I know there's a new, no, not Black Ops 3, Modern Warfare 3.
mm,
We started this on encouragement by Liam to kind of do zombies. I bitterly regret it now because it's so freaking which is like it really is kind of so boring to kind
yeah,
of do. But you also can't really do it alone either. It's too hard to do it alone. But the problem is, it's just like, hey, drop yourself on a map, and now you've got to progress it. You've got to do 500 of this one thing, but it's very specific and you can't progress until you do that. Oh, but also there's a story, but you've got to do all of these challenges before you get Jesus. You know?
yeah. I'm on the same boat. I said it's a good game. It's a fun game when
Of
you get a
course it
bunch
is. Call of
together.
Duty, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, other than the last time we played it was like 2 weeks ago. I haven't touched it.
Yeah, I haven't touched it either. I know I've
Yeah,
got to do the single campaign eventually, but I just don't care enough about these games. I don't care that I've started it because I've got like half my gamer card of started games that I'll never finish and things like that.
yeah.
Um, but just to kind of like, I want it to be more than what it is. But yeah, you
Yeah.
carry on.
Yeah, so this was a bit of a random game, but a game I really enjoyed. It's a Turnip Boy Robs a Bank.
Right, okay, I've never
Yeah,
heard of it.
yeah. So literally, it only took me about 6 hours to complete, but it was just a very weird, fun, enjoyable game. You know, a game which I needed after it was a relaxing game to play after playing like I think I started it after completing like a dragon. A Shinden, so it gave me a refresh and a bit of an enjoy. But basically, you're a turnip running around robbing banks. So, but it's
I
enjoyable.
love games like
Easy
that.
fun.
Well, I love games like that that don't test you too much. They're just nice little indie games.
Mm,
Okay. Do you remember, I've talked about Fabledom before, and I'm just gonna re-talk about Fabledom briefly, mainly because I in the time this is between videos, I contacted the developer, got a response. Others have contacted. Now they've gone deathly quiet, claiming that they are working on it. Basically, like I've said online, like with the video I put up that showed you the glitch, do not buy this game. They released a broken game that's so broken that it not only wrecks your completion, but it wrecks your game. Fabledom's games are long in that building and creating a world and going through all the missions to marry someone can take you 8 hours overall. So imagine you're at hour 7 and you've got a thriving freaking kingdom and you've got hundreds of fablings and everybody's living their life and you've got lots of money and you've done really well, particularly on the harder difficulties, because there's an achievement for getting over 300 fablings in on the hardest difficulty, which is where this second time this glitch happened to me, and it's where I've currently stopped and had enough of this game. All your fablings just stop. Stop working. Everybody just stops working and freezes. The game doesn't freeze. The game carries on, but the majority of fablings stop working and freeze, which results in what? Starvation. And they all start to die. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Now, About a month or two ago, they claimed they had fixed this in a patch. Others did as well, but I proved they didn't. They didn't. I tweeted them and said, "Hey, you haven't," and they went, "Oh, are you sure?" So I made a video and put the video up on YouTube and then tweeted that video at them, proving and showing it in detail. They replied, going, "Oh my God, that's so unfortunate. We're working on a fix now," and so on. Since then, others have contacted them on Twitter, and there's been nothing but silence now. Or they say, "We're working on it." I realize they're a small developer, but they are not updating. What they are now doing is tweeting about other games they're releasing and stuff like that. They are not putting stuff out saying, "Hey, well," they're not updating people. So I don't think they're going to fix this. I think they're not going to fix this. And it's just going to be a broken game. So do not buy Fabledom. Do not give them their money, because until they fix this, it breaks the game. You are talking about it breaking it. Think about it. If at any stage, and basically it happened to me, because I wondered, oh, maybe it's because I got too many Fablings. I had over 300. I have a second save that has over 200. And the exact same thing happened. It's random. I've done games where I've made it all the way through and been able to complete and marry and complete a quest line. But there are 2 achievements left, and one of them is a marriage one, and one of them is to do something on the hardest difficulty. That 300 Fablings, the hardest difficulty, is one of those achievements that I now have a save where I'm about at 280, and the glitch happened. So I'm waiting to see if it's patched so that I'm able to continue that game. But yeah. I will not let this go. I cannot believe it, because I really like the game, but it's a game-breaking bug.
Yeah, I just think that's absolutely disgusting, and the cheek of a developer to release a game and it's broken.
Thing is, I do get it to some degree. These days, things are faster. We've got the ability to release patches and all that, but you've got to actually do that. It has now been a couple of months since this game came out. They patched it once and didn't fix this. Fix this issue. But if it's taking you a little time, tell us.
Yeah.
Put out posts on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever, on your website saying, "We are aware of this and this is where we're at right now." How hard is it to do a goddamn social media post about where you are at with Fabledom if you are actually bothering to fix it? I'm not convinced they will. And part of the reason why I'm not convinced is I don't think many people have bought this game. I don't think many people, at least on like consoles. So I don't think it matters. Is it like cost wise? Oh, it cost the money to do this patch, or just to piss off a few people. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't buy it, because I saw it and I watched the trailer, and it looks like my type of game.
I love it. I love the gameplay. I love it. That's why it hurts so much, is because I think it's a brilliant game, a relaxing city builder. Anyway, moving on. Go on.
Again, another old game which I started about 2 years ago, and I only needed one achievement, and this achievement drove me insane. So it's Unraveled 2. So I had 27 achievements out of 28, and the last achievement just drove me absolute mental, because it's the one where you have to complete 20 levels in 45 minutes, which include the cutscenes. And I tried it for ages and ages and ages. I couldn't get it, and then at random I put it on the other day, and I did it straight away. So I don't know if I just was better, or if they made it easier, or I don't know, but I did it. It's a fun game. It's a nice two-player game. I played it. I did it with my daughter. We both played it together, and it's a fun game to do. So
sometimes you just need to walk away.
Yeah.
Like walk away and come back to it at a later point, and then you'll just do it. I've got a couple of small indie ones I'm going to fire off. So I like the Hidden Cats games. I don't know if you know these. They're normally like £2.49 on Xbox, and it's like Where's Wally but with cats. I love these games. So they're really easy completions. They're fun. They're colourful. They're very relaxing. I've recently done Hidden Cats in Berlin and the Halloween one, Hidden Cats in Spooky Town. You get like 1,000 gamer score for a game that takes you maybe 2 hours overall to complete, but it's the price. It's the fact that it costs like £2.50. They're not charging you $7.99 or $8.99 for something really shit. That's like a really cheap thing, and I just find them super relaxing. Alongside that, I also picked up Crossbow Blood Knight, which is an arena shooter where you one of those classic arcade games. Think about an arcade where you went in, you put I don't even know how much it would be back when arcades were 50 pence, 50p, 50 UK pence, sterling silver into an arcade machine. And it's a first person shooter. You drop in an arena, and the goal is simply to kill and survive and get a high score. That's it. With obviously on console, it's got achievements. So Crossbow Blood Knight is that. Two arenas, an overpowered crossbow that's more like a freaking machine gun, power-ups, and enemies just constantly spawning and trying to kill you. A lot of fun. Really gothic, really like silly and over the top. Except for one achievement, which is generally difficult. It probably took me about 3 hours to do that one achievement, whereas it took me half an hour to do all the others.
Mm.
It is doable, and it's a good challenge. It's a good challenge. Basically, you have to beat a boss, but to get to that boss, you need to survive to a certain time, and it gets tricky.
Mm.
So I worked out a system in an arena where I could if I ran at basically if I never stopped moving and ran in a circle, it still relied on luck. Sometimes spawns would happen in front of me. Sometimes an enemy would fall because basically what happened is they'd sort of start following me as well.
Yeah.
More would spawn in front of you, but then it's all about quick trigger fingers to kill the ones that are appearing in front of you, while the biggest lot are directly behind you.
Yeah.
But if you stop for a second, they will get you. It's like that level of like craziness, and then you got to last. I think you got to survive to like 320 seconds, and then the boss appears. But then you have to kill that boss as well. So like it took me hours, but it was a well satisfied when I did it. Proper like yeah when it happened. Can't recommend it enough. It's very cheap. I think it's like £4.19 or £4.59. And aside from that achievement, the rest of it's really easy. Crossbow Blood Knight. And I'm going to throw in that I don't play Power Wash Simulator on my console. Even though that game is complete on my console, 90 achievements out of 90 again, my wife does. That's her game. She loves that game. So every time they release new DLC, she's well happy and over the moon. Obviously, recently they released the Shrek DLC and the Halloween House one as well, which she's happily completed both again. So Power Wash Simulator. Yeah, she loves it.
So I'm going to go to one of my big ones again, which I started about a year ago, and because I remember talking to you about a year ago that the maps is so Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah,
I remember telling you about a year ago. I
hate the map. Hate the map.
Yeah. And that put me off. But then I decided to know what, after a year, I'll go back and complete it. So obviously I loaded up my game. I was obviously halfway through it, and obviously I completely had no idea what I was doing. I'd forgotten what I was doing. So obviously I restarted it.
Yeah.
But then I got a glitch.
Oh, so, I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. So none of my achievements were tracking. So I did loads of the achievements. I like the ones we got to get 20 kills, something. None of them were tracking. So I deleted the game, downloaded it again. Again, nothing happened. I did it again. I removed it off the hard drive. Eventually, I got it working again. But after completing it, obviously all the achievements, what an absolutely amazing game! I love the story. The story's fantastic. I actually, once you unlock all the,
hold on, stop. Your sound's gone off. I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, okay, you're back. Okay, no, actually, it may not have been you, it may be me. Let me disconnect my headphones from my iPad. Right, sorry. Yeah, you were deleted off your hard drive. Go from there.
Yeah, so I deleted off the hard drive repeatedly. Nothing happened, and then finally, after removing every bit of save data, everything, I re-downloaded it again, and the achievements start tracking again. But as a game-wise, story-wise, I absolutely love the story. I'm absolutely over the moon that they're making another one, which is going to be obviously the third in the trilogy. I actually quite enjoyed the map now. Once you unlock all the scrolls and all the chests and what everything is, it's actually quite easy to follow. I mean, don't get the map is still frustrating.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I love the story, I love the characters, and yeah, I'm psyched for the third one.
Oh, Yeah, I mean, I remember we already talked. I'm not going to go. We talked about this when I played this. I am a big fan of it too. I'm a big fan of both games. I am intrigued by a third game. I hope there's a little bit more innovation in the third game. Um, but yeah, but there was also a point in the second game, if you remember when we talked about this, that I got angry with it because of they made Darth Vader look like a chump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. When I would normally, right? I would normally be like, always happens to you, done it, mate. Always happens to you. What? And then I get super suspicious and be like, what's he doing? What way is he trying to cheat the system that keeps bricking his Xbox and stuff like that? However, I forgive him for one reason only these days. I have a very similar situation that I believe to fix a game, I will have to go through the hoops that you've done. And I don't know if I care enough to go through those hoops. That's the
Mm.
thing. Because I have a game on my hard drive that I every so often check in on. Sorry, I've got more than one, in fact. But this is quite a big named one. This game is a big named one. Um, that basically a quarter of the achievements don't track and won't unlock. And reading online, it's all about deleting saves and off and all this and removing it, playing offline and all of this. And we just like, I don't know if I care that much.
Much hassle, man. Yeah.
It is. You shouldn't have to do this, basically. Okay. I can't believe we're going to talk about it again, but it came out of a surprise for me. Dead Island 2. So the developer announced that they were drawing a line under the game, having released a good game, and one that's a lot more fun in co-op, having us both done it, and two very good DLCs, I think. What was the house, which was different, unique, and Soma, which I thoroughly enjoyed, except for the end boss, which is bullshit in Soma. But there you're going to go. There you go. But I kind of thought they might do more, but no, they have drawn a line and walked away and said, boom, thumbs up. Because what they've done is nicely giving you a reason to go back to it with creating a new game plus and two new achievements. So that was very cool of them. So new game plus, it's exactly what a new game plus is. Carry everything over that you had, your weapons, your levels, all of that, but you've got new space for cards. You unlock new spaces so you can continue. And your level goes up. You can now reach a higher level. Obviously, alongside that, so do the zombies. So be prepared for a more challenging game. And for example, these super zombies, the different variations, there's a lot more of them around. Some missions are generally challenging and stuff like that. But to add to that, there are revenants now in the game. And revenants are special super zombies with special names. One of the achievements is to kill all 10 of them. Now, you will actually come across, I think, 6 on your way as you play through the game. And then the other 4, I mean, they're not hard to find. There's already guides out there. You just go to the place, find the named one and kill them.
Yeah.
But the shocking thing was, right, so you drop in a new game plus, you don't start at the plane bit, you start at the house where you're going to find Emma and all of that. There's a revenant at the beginning. A fucking revenant attacks you to begin with. And I was like, I'm playing New Game Plus, starting it, dealing with a fat bloater that was spitting fire, a crusher with fiery arms, and then this named revenant, which is another fucking crusher one. And I died like immediately. And I just remember thinking, I'm gonna have to message Damon and say we're gonna have to do this co-op. I don't think I can do it alone. Anyway, eventually I started to clock what I needed to do and what I was dealing with. And then the game, it starts off hard. Like at first you'll feel really underpowered, but as you get on and the new weapons and the upgraded weapons and the things you can do, like my weapons are beasts. But basically, at the end of our game, we were running around with weapons that maybe had between 300 and 400 damage.
Yeah.
My weapons are nearly 700 at the moment now. But yeah, the 2 achievements, complete New Game Plus, which, excuse me. You complete New Game Plus, which can be done in a couple of hours. Basically, if you ignore all the side quests and just do the main story, beginning to end, it's pretty straightforward. And even like by the time I got to the end boss, because I ended up doing some side quests just for the weapons and to level myself up. Because the other thing, folks, kill revenants early if you can, because they drop very special weapons. Weapons with names of them. Weapons so powerful they can't be sold. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Make the rest of the game really easy. But there are a couple of revenants, warning, that are really difficult. So there's one that appears once you complete the last one that appears. You can only fight her when you complete New Game Plus. And she is a bad guy that Soma introduced. One of the zombies that Soma introduced. You know the ones with you don't know because you've not done Soma.
No,
but is it Soma? Why do we keep calling it Solar? Solar, not Soma, Solar. She's the snake arm ones. Whatever they're called, I can't remember. But basically, she was so difficult, I had to not glitch her out. I had to. Do you remember the end part area in the regeneration clinic? So you go up, like, the doors are locked. To get in there, you have to go up a fallen pillar. It's outside the film studio. You go up the fallen pillar and through a small window at the top.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the very top because she spawned outside there, basically. But she was whooping my ass. And revenants call in other powerful zombies. So like, I'm in the middle of fighting her, and then I've got a crusher appearing, and the fucking bladed guys as well. So I was dying. And obviously every time you die, they got their health back.
Yeah.
What I ended up doing was using one of my powerful guns, going up to that window, you half in, half out, shooting her, and she was trying to hit me from there, and she couldn't. She kept hitting the window. So I basically killed her that way. But yeah, it was great fun to come. It was great fun to do this. A good reason to go back. I didn't love the idea initially of replaying Dead Island 2, like the entire story.
Yeah.
Like even a new game, I didn't love it. But it was fun to kind of do it from a I'm just racing through it kind of way. Like I said, it probably took me about 5 to 6 hours overall. And other than the start, I didn't struggle too much. The end boss is a bit challenging because you kind of got to do that on your own. But it wasn't too bad in the end. Like, as long as you're smart and you've got strong weapons and you kind of never stop moving, that's the other thing. Always keep moving.
Yeah.
It's well worth doing. I just love the fact that they did this. They did not have to do this. They did 2 DLCs. They could have said that's it, done. But it's like, here's a free update as well, folks. It's free for New Game Plus to give you a reason to go back to it, but also to encourage you. Here's 2 new achievements and a load of new ideas. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, it's always good when a developer, especially when it's free too. So yeah, it's always a good. Yeah.
And I think you would agree with me. Overall, now that it's said and done, Dead Island 2, good game.
Yeah. So it's a definitely. I mean, the last major zombie game I played, other than Dead Rising, was Left 4 Dead. So for me, it stands in that bracket. It is a decent game. So
not State of Decay, though, is it? Not quite State of Decay.
No.
Go on.
So in the days of remastered games,
yeah.
So a game which no one probably asked for and it's random. I don't know why they've done it, but hey, it's Goat Simulator Remastered. So
okay.
yeah, so I completed it. I downloaded it, completed. I completed the original, and obviously I've completed the third one. But Goat Simulator Remastered, I mean, it's better colors, it's better graphics. It's still a very, very random game. But the only thing I will add, which I thought was, obviously, I'm glad that they were smart, that all the DLC, the 5 DLCs, were all included with the remastering. So you don't have to go buy them again. But easy game. I completed it within 6 hours. Yeah, that's it, really.
It's Goat Simulator. Can't say much about it. Dagon Complete Edition. This is Dagon with the DLCs included. So a very easy completion. You can complete this game in about an hour to 2 at most, but you probably do it in an hour if you follow a guide. Effectively, all it is it's not even a walking simulator, it's a story. It's the story of Dagon, which is H.P. Lovecraft's story, but done, it's a visual novel, basically. So you've got a voiceover telling the story of Dagon while you interact with items that give you history about H.P. Lovecraft and all that. The achievements are basically complete the game, the DLCs as well, but also find the hidden. And they're hidden in each frame, like bits of information. You press left trigger down, and it'll illuminate like a mark. You click on that mark, and that's it, kind of thing. If you follow a guide, you can do it in like an hour or two. It's not really a game, if I'm honest. It's just a story being told. And if you know Dagon already, the HP Lovecraft story, you'll be familiar with it. I'm just going to fire off a couple more fast-paced ones here. I completed Killer Frequency. I had one achievement left, which was to save everybody and to complete the game under 4 hours, which people online said was doable, but tight, because of a quite tight time. I didn't find it that way in the end. Like, don't get me wrong, you need to know exactly what you need to do to save everybody and not waste time by going around looking in the station for items and things like that. There are times when you have no choice, but even then you need to be direct. You need to be efficient, really efficient here. And that's what it is, about efficiency. I did it in about 3 hours and 20 minutes. So well under the 4 hours. Do you remember I complained to you that I couldn't do the new levels in Zombie Derby 2? But most of the Zombie Derbies added loads of achievements, and Zombie Derby 2 in particular, I couldn't do it. It's just too hard. So I decided the other night to go and do those achievements. Come on, man, finish the stupid game. Like, you've finished it before, they've added some more. It shouldn't be this hard. You're clearly just doing it wrong. Tried it again, failed. Tried it again, failed. I'm sitting there practically pulling my hair out, what hair I have, thinking, why can't I do this? Oh, fuck it. Let me watch a YouTube video. Watch some guy's YouTube video, and thought I saw him do a few things differently that I wasn't doing. So I decided to do it his way or their way. Still couldn't do it. Failed another 3 times. Damon, I was just like, what is going on? What is going on? So I thought, what am I doing wrong? Why do I keep running out of fuel? Why do I keep running out of fuel? So I did something that I can't believe I've forgotten. I went and watched the tutorial from the game. The game's tutorial. I went and did it. And then remembered that I was doing something wrong in the game. That means you'll always run out of fuel. So basically, in Zombie Derby games, when you jump in the air, when your car gets launched into the air, stop accelerating. Stop the acceleration button. Now, it does take a little getting used to, because if you're kind of used to always moving forward with the acceleration button, you're naturally going to hold it down even when your car's in the air. So it does take a little getting used to, but do it, because when you don't accelerate in the air, guess what you do? You conserve gas. I completed the levels, and half an hour later, it was all done. Because the moment I stopped doing that, I had enough gas to complete the fucking gate levels. Yeah. I was so angry that I'd forgotten that basic fundamental, and then got so stressed over this stupid little game but I'd forgotten that fundamental thing about it. So just remember that if you're playing the Zombie Derby games, when you're in the air, do not accelerate. Get your finger off the gas. Another game I completed last year, I did it around about Christmas time, was a game called Lost Snowmen, which is this puzzle platformer game with a ton of achievements. 5,000 gamer score now in total. The good news is, folks, if you do decide to pick a Lost Snowmen, which has 5,000 gamer score in total, you can get all 5,000 gamer score in about 30 to 60 minutes. That is how quick you can do it. It is insane. And the new DLC, which is free or free again, added 1,000 gamer score, so it went from 4 to 5, and I did those levels in 20 minutes. That's it. So Lost Snowman, if you want a easy 5,000 gamer score, easy. Lost Snowman. I've got a couple of more left, but a bigger one. So you take away some now.
So I'm going to go to a game which I know you absolutely love, and obviously I love it too. I've completed it on so many bloody different consoles and platforms, but obviously Shadow Man Remastered. Absolutely love this game. I would love if they made a film or a TV series about this game. I think it'd be fantastic. Okay,
I'm going to jump in there, as I am the bigger Shadow Man fan. I simply refuse to let one of my all-time favorite games to be touched like that. Can we just leave Shadow Man alone? Anyway, carry on. There's comic books. Go read some fucking comic books if you really care that much.
Yeah, true. Yeah. No, I said it's an absolutely fantastic game. I love this game. You know, it's one of those games which, even after my last time completing this game was, I think it was on a PC like a couple of years ago. Yep. But I knew where everything is. I knew where everything was. I remember you telling me about in the remastered that they added a whole new section. And when
Yep.
I got to that section, I couldn't believe it. How much they put the effort into adding that new section and the new gun. And I mean, I spoke to you obviously through a message, but I mean, on the horror when you had to obviously completed the hardest difficulty, the sisters drove me absolutely mental. Marco Cruz, surprisingly the hardest boss in my opinion in the entire game.
Yep.
Legion was, I mean, when you were talking about that cat game jumping around, that's what I did at Legion. I just ran around in circles. I didn't stop moving while he's firing the purple stuff at you. And yeah,
Yeah, just never stop moving. That's it. That's the
yeah, yeah,
trick.
yeah.
And make sure you bring in a shit ton of ammo for is Violator? Is it the
Yeah,
Violator?
the
Yeah, the
part there, yeah.
Violator. Yeah. Because that will help you at least until it runs out. But to begin with, man, it makes the fucking difference.
Yeah, I'd the double violator. So
Yeah, same. So I did the
yeah,
same as well. Yeah, like I mean, obviously, I've highly praised this game. I'm so glad you enjoyed it and enjoyed what they did and the effort they put in to make it special. I'm not going to be nice about the horror though. The horror was stupid. The horror was
mm,
stupid. While I enjoyed the extra challenge, there was at several points in it that it just becomes stupid. And one of them is the sisters. There's so many of them in so many different areas. Like that's the problem. It's not like it's a one-off. And when you have to go for a temple, shooting a couple and diving behind a door, then waiting and shooting a couple, like that's not fun. That's just bad. That's just bad design.
yeah,
I think the mistake they made with the horror was having it so that enemies don't drop health anymore. I think if they kept the same level of damage, and your weapon like nerfing, but enemies still drop health, I think it might have made it a little bit easier, a little bit more bearable. But I also, when you said about Marco Cruz, yeah, and right, so I made the mistake. I when I originally did Marco Cruz, I could not understand. It basically took me longer than any other boss because I thought every time I was dying that his health, like basically, I didn't know his health was coming back. Like basically, every time you come back to him, his health was back. And the
mm,
biggest problem as well is obviously dying in Shadow Man. You don't just like respawn in the arena. So it's like dying and having to go all the way back to him. I found
yeah,
it really, really frustrating. Marco Cruz, 100%. I also found certain areas that were new. Like I found the swamp annoying to navigate. Like, don't get
mm,
me wrong, I love the fact that they put back where those characters were originally supposed to be. Because obviously the Shadow Man originally put them in the prison along with
yeah.
Victor Petrakian. But that was not where they were meant to be. They were supposed to have these levels like where they are, like stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. I think that's it. I don't think they're going to do anything else with that now.
It's because I use the quick save thing where obviously I did the save and the load on my thingy,
Yeah, so
but
so did I eventually. Yeah.
too many goddamn times did I press the wrong button. I remember I defeated Marco Cruz and I pressed the wrong button and I reloaded the game.
Right.
So I had to go beat him again. But yeah, no. So I can't see them doing anything else with Shadow Man now.
Well, what else can they do? Like I said, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Speaking about remastered, then I am currently playing Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars Reforged, which is obviously a redesigned from the ground up Broken Sword. It is not. It's not new. Like, to me, there's not like a new thing here. Like, it's not like a new story. It is the first Broken Sword game made from the ground up, where you can switch between the graphical styles by the press of a button and all of that stuff. It looks gorgeous. It sounds amazing. I love these games. So to play it again, achievements and some of them are quite clever. I noticed
Mm.
it's not just like play the game and complete it. There are things that kind of encourage you to, because ultimately you can speed through it, right? You can speed through the dialogue, and you can not do any of the interactions. You can just do the main dialogue. The achievements try to encourage you to like do it. So, for example, the hand buzzer that you get early on, the joke hand buzzer, like there's an achievement for trying to get everybody to shake your hand using it. Stuff like that. Well game for that. It's Broken Sword. I love it. It's not my favorite Broken Sword. That's still number two, but it's still a fabulous game. Yeah.
Do you think that they'll ever, because obviously if they're doing Broken, so do you think they'll ever do like a Disc World with achievements? No.
No, but you say they like this is the same company.
No, no,
There's
no.
no connection here. Nobody
Yeah,
gives
yeah,
a
yeah.
shit about Discworld, man.
Yeah. Mm.
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody. The fact that even now to play those sort of games on PC, you need um, like a certain platform and stuff like that. You can't get it on Steam. No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Go on.
Uh,
I've got three more.
I've got two more, and then I've got one which I'm starting at the moment. So, uh, Minecraft. So, finally completed Minecraft. All achievements out of 129 out of 129, but it's one of those sort of games like Vampire Survivors where they're constantly releasing updates and new achievements. I completed this about 4 times already, and I see they keep adding more achievements to it. But I finally again completed the game. It's one of those games where if you just want a lovely, enjoyable, relaxing game, no pressure, and it's a game which I completed half of it, and my kids unlocked half of them by accident, And yeah, it's just it's a game we can stick on for half an hour just to relax and and fun. Yeah,
Yeah, it's Minecraft, isn't it?
yeah.
Not exactly famous. Carry on.
Fallout Shelter. After 200 hours of trying to get the last achievement for somehow at random, I just suddenly got it. Um, the last achievement was obviously you had to collect the 20 special characters, and obviously they're random. They come out of the lunchboxes. The lunchboxes you can either buy them or collect them every 7 days. So I just decided to after about a year, I just went back and collected loads of lunchboxes, and I managed to get the last four in about 10 lunchboxes. Complete at random, complete at luck, and the achievement popped. Done. Thank God. Can delete that game and never play it again.
Yeah. No, well done. That's a good one to get.
Yeah.
Okay, well, these are games that I'm kind of playing. I'm going to cover two games in one where I'm playing right now, and then I'm going to come to my big one at the end. So I'm playing, I've started Prototype 2. I've actually completed Prototype 1 and 2 on the Xbox 360. When they were both re-released for the Xbox One slash Series, all that nonsense, a couple of years ago, I picked them both up cheap, and then I never played them. I ended up completing Prototype last year, and now I'm doing Prototype 2, basically. That's that. Simple as that. Playing Prototype 2. And I'm also playing Torchlight 2. I played Torchlight 1 maybe, God, got to be 6 or 7 years ago. And I've not played any Torchlight since. So I decided I've had Torchlight 2 on my console for a while, put it that way. I thought, fuck it, start it, see if it grabs you, and then carry on. Well, it's grabbed me full on proper. It is, of course, a top-down dungeon crawler, RPG, leveling up, but done in an arcade style with lots of colourful. It's a lot of fun, very adventurous. Reminds me of like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that. Way more simplified. Way more simplified. I'm really enjoying that at the moment. So Torchlight 2. Okay, I've got one more and it's a big one. So you want to do yours first?
I've got two more, which are ones I'm currently playing.
One.
So obviously, again, we spoke about this recently. Obviously, my time at Shamrock, loved.
Stop.
Obviously,
Stop. My time at what? My time at Shamrock.
Shamrock.
Shamrock
Yeah.
was some little Irish game. Oi, oi.
Yeah. No, I was literally watching Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares, and literally one of the restaurants was called that. That's why it's on my head. My time at Sandrock. Sorry, yeah.
Yes,
So obviously,
Sandrock, yes.
we both completed my time at Portia, whatever you want to call it.
Portia, yeah.
Yeah, Portia. Love that game. This game is an absolute major upgrade. But you sent me a message yesterday about issues, and I actually had an issue very early on in the game. And it was a silly issue. I was building a stage with the other builder, and I was standing there for ages, and she wouldn't appear. And it was stuck in a cutscene where I could see her running around me, just running around me constantly. She ran towards me, ran away, ran towards me, ran away, and then eventually, after about half an hour of me leaving it, she then suddenly decided to come over and start talking to me, and it continued the game. So, but other than that, yeah, I love the game. I know it's a very long-winded game. It's going to take probably 60 hours plus, probably longer actually, because I checked it earlier, and somehow I've played 55 hours already without even realizing. So,
I'm not sure how much time I put into it. I know I put a lot of time into it. I love these games, even bugs and all. Now, bear in mind, I was an early adopter as well, so I had a lot more bugs and a lot more issues than you do because they've obviously been updated to be online as well now, which is something that frustrates the hell out of me because I've completed the game. I completed the game months ago. So adding
Yeah.
all this stuff later with no new achievements gives me little impetus to go back and play it. I'm not starting it again. It's too big of a game to just start again for fun.
Hmm.
There's too much going on. So, like, yeah, but I love these games. I thoroughly enjoy them. I do think it's an improvement, mostly overall from Portia. One major reason why I think it's an improvement. One major reason.
Mm.
It doesn't have a fucking achievement that can be missed, which of course Portia did have. So just I mean like that. But yeah, I do recommend them. Totally worth playing. What was the other one? You said you had two you were playing.
Yeah, so I decided to go back and play Gears of War.
Oh God.
So Gears of War, the Ultimate Edition,
Yeah.
and the only reason why I was flicking through, like, obviously on True Achievements, my old games, and I noticed that all the achievements can now basically be unlocked on social or competitive. So no longer having to go online and play for six people and running around and trying to boost. Say seriously, for example, you can just go on and basically do it on competitive on social. So I can
What does
basically
that
do
mean?
it with.
Stop there. What does explain that? What does that mean?
So basically, all the achievements, so all the kills, I can basically do it with myself and a second controller. You ain't got to do it
Right.
online. You can still obviously play it online if you want to and all that. But basically, I can do it all by myself, and I just stick it on for an hour a day. I do like 10 matches. Like you did, there's one where you got to get 100 wins on the annex matches. So I stick it on. I'll do 10, and then I'll turn it off and go back and play my time at Sandrock. So.
I can't condone this behavior, folks. To me, it's utterly these days. It's utterly pointless to do that. Like, why? Like, why bother? Why even bother with it? Like, it's not like you can. You would. I could understand. I could understand if you were trying to have 100% that your gamer card was like 100%.
Hmm.
Like, and so you were trying to keep it that way, but it's not, and it never will be. Like, why waste an hour of your day when you could be putting an hour into something else on playing like with a second controller just to get a stupid achievement in a stupid game that's really old? I'm not. I know we're all achievement hunters to a degree, but man, oh man, like, what about like what are you going to do with the insane difficulty then?
So, have I done it? We did it. Remember, we did it.
No, we didn't do insane. We played for it on thing. We didn't do it insane. I thought we were gonna do it together, but I guess we clearly didn't.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh, well. It's unlocked on my one, and apart from the end boss, which to defeat Ram, there is a little glitch you can do to beat him on insane.
No,
So,
I don't know. No, we definitely didn't do it because I haven't
uh,
done it. So, but that's you all over, mate. Go off and do it on your own. Don't want to play with people.
well, the last time we played it was like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, but if you said to me, "Oh, do you want to play through Gears of War?" and we arrange times and stuff like that to do it, but you don't. You just go off and do it on your own. That's what I'm saying. It's
I
like
te
you don't
I
send
texted
the
yesterday.
mess.
I
What?
suggested it and WhatsApp. Let's play Gears.
Yeah, yeah, but what in Gears?
I don't
Oh,
know
you mean?
anything.
Oh my God, you mean you want us to freaking help you get your goddamn achievements? You want us to play your little socials and help you get your achievements?
Oh
That's
no,
what that
no.
is.
We can start have fun and obviously do the kills
Yeah, but
because obviously the first are
you're playing it regularly at the moment, so you would just kick our asses anyway.
dead.
Anyway, moving on. Last but not least, the Smurfs Dreams, which is the new Smurfs game. So I played the Smurf games on Xbox. I played the Smurfs one, the 3D platformer ones, Smurfs one and the Smurfs two. I like the first one. The second one I think is flawed as hell. I
Mm.
enjoyed Smurfs karting, even if it's a bit too challenging for a kid's game. And then the Smurfs Dreams came along, and I've got to obviously be honest about this. I got a code for this from the developer, so I did not buy this game. I got it for free for review purposes. Anyway, I like the look of it because it was different. It was a 3D platformer but top down, and it reminded me of games like Mario, the sort of like Mario games, um, you know, from like uh, like from the Switch and stuff like that, but not the main like Mario Odyssey, not that where you're sitting behind Mario, but where it's top down.
Yeah.
With elements from other stuff like that. And goddamn, they made a great game here. I don't know, like it's easy. Oh, well, you got a free code. People automatically presume it. You're just being like facetious or lying. I'm not. This is a great game that's very fun to play, beautifully colorful, simple, can be completed in about 6 hours. And I mean completed, like 100% completed. Isn't that difficult, but does have a nice curve where it kind of starts off easy and gets nice and difficult. Has an imaginative idea, simple story. I think it's a great game. I really do think it's a great platformer game. I enjoyed playing it from beginning to end. Definitely recommend checking out the Smurf streams. Smurftastic.
Uh,
That's it, though. That's where I'm at. That's all I'm playing.
yeah, same as me. Yeah, so I'm fully updated now. So
All right. What do you reckon? What are you playing? Have you got any thoughts on what we've talked about here? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.